The seventh commandment. Well, hello everyone. This is Dave from Universal Truth of Mankind. Website is www.utom.org. Go there. You can find links to our Rumble channel as well as our YouTube channel. And also, you can see which is our latest video. Now, one quick note before we go on. The first 2 or 3 minutes of this video, I try to keep basic, and then I fill in the details later on. So if you watch it to the end, you get the details. If you're only interested in the first 2 or 3 minutes, then you will get, that portion of this. So, seventh commandment. What is this commandment? This commandment is, thou shalt not commit adultery. Now, as I've been saying, that there are 7 attributes that we have in common with the Creator. And these are critical points in which we have to make a faith decision. We have to make it's a critical point in our path that we have to decide on what we're going to do. Now, there's always a physical application and a spiritual application to each of these attributes. So, what attribute are we talking about here? Well, this one is known as foundation. It's the idea of bonding. It's the idea of connecting together. Now, specifically, it's male and female, but not limited to that. It's also a spiritual connection. Now, as I said in previous videos, we have a soul. We have an upper soul, a lower soul. And the upper soul, who we really are, is trying to influence the lower soul to tell us who we really are. Now, we have choice. We can listen or not. We can close that door if we want to. Of course, it's not wise, but we can do that. So we open ourselves up, and the Creator influences us and transforms our thinking, transforms who we really are, gives us a true freedom of choice, a true freedom. So, what English words do we get for this that we'll find for God's names within the text? Well, you get El Shaddai, Elyon, and Jehovah Jireh, God the provider. Now, God Almighty also, is God Almighty, is that the real name, is that the real translation of El Shaddai? The answer is no. El Shaddai means the breasted one. I had a Cohen tell me that one. But it also means God's teat. So, the idea is that there's nourishment takes place through unity, through the connecting. And it's a foundation for what? Foundation for the transformation of society. The foundation of creating a people called Israel. Now, I use that word people for a reason. I'm not talking about Jews only. I'm talking about anybody who observes and says they take these commandments seriously. They're joining up and becoming part of Israel. A conversion into becoming part of Israel is done by the individual, by their decisions. So, like I said, with these 7 attributes that we're dealing with now of the Creator, the last 7 commandments, we're making critical decisions on following the Creator and converting ourselves into Israel. So it's not limited to just a certain race of people. It's for everybody. I'll give you one quick example, and I got to move on. Actually, I think I'm going to skip this. Now, let me skip this. That could actually become another video. All right, so we got this connecting taking place. Now, we got to think in terms of not only just physical, but also spiritual. So, in a spiritual sense, God's teat, we're looking for being fed. We're looking to become nourished, spiritually nourished. We keep that door open for the upper soul to speak to our lower soul, our minds, an upper mind and lower mind. Then that nourishment comes down. Now, there's also another thing to contemplate here, because we're all talking about a merger of male and female attributes of the Creator coming together at this point. So it's like a marriage. Thou shalt not commit adultery. A marriage of the male and female coming together to create a child. Now, Sarah, or Sarai, or Abram and Sarai, when they were having Isaac right before, the names were changed. The names became Abraham, and the sense of being a father of nations, Abraham, and Sarai became Sarah. So there's a physical situation taking place where the male and the female create a child, but the Creator will provide the soul for that child. So there's a threesome coming together to create a body with a soul. Now, like I said, we had to make that decision to permit it to feed us. So we have that choice. Okay, let me read this. God's teat, right? Okay, bonding. Connecting to create children, which we just said. Develop a solid relationship that has no room for others. In other words, a very strong intimacy. So we are not to get familiar, look at the spiritual level. We can't get familiar with other gods, so to speak. We have to stay firm with the Creator and tight. And as a physical level, of course, we have to pay attention to who we marry. Why? Because we want to make sure that our offsprings are raised properly. We raise them properly, this door opens more and more and more to permit the light in. So we are not commit adultery both at a physical and a spiritual level. So this becomes a building block. You have the nucleus of a family that comes together with proper intimacy with the Creator and with each other will produce a child. And those children come together and produce a community. The communities come together and produce the world. So this foundation is very important for the completion of the physical creation to be transformed into a people for the Creator. Now, the person that exemplifies this is Joseph. Joseph refused to sleep with Potiphar's wife. Why? Because he was trying to make sure he did not defile Potiphar's relationship with his wife. And Joseph wanted to have a proper family, a proper union with the proper woman, like a bashert, which means a soulmate. That's what he wanted. He didn't want a cheap relationship. Because the sex could be good, but that doesn't mean that the relationship's going to be good. That's why we have divorces. Okay, everybody. If you have any questions, thoughts, ideas, please feel free to share them. And next time, I'll see you with the 8th commandment. Take care, everybody. Shalom, shalom. Be safe.